You're trying to sell AI services right now, and it feels harder than it should. Today's coaching call is probably going to change how you think about client acquisition. So, one of the big things that I've been seeing with people out there in the real world is that most aren't struggling because AI is complicated. They're struggling because selling is the bottleneck, right? Their cold emails are getting ignored. Cold DMs feel awkward. Discovery calls feel forced. And the worst part, even good AI solutions are getting lumped in with spam. So on today's call, I want to show you something different. I'm going to break down what I call my AI power combo. It's a simple system that lets clients raise their hand before you ever pitch them. And it works whether you're brand new or already running an AI business. There's no cold calls, no convincing, no, hey, just following up emails, yuck, right? Just systems doing the heavy lifting. Now, before we go any further, this video is for you if you sell AI services, automation, SaaS, or marketing. You're tired of chasing leads and you want conversations instead of objections. This video is not for you if you want overnight hacks, or if you think more outreach equals more money, or if you believe selling harder is the answer. So now that I've got that out of the way, I'm going to look down here at the chat, open this up. What's up, everybody? Welcome. Hey, awesome. Sorry, I'm a little under the weather today. I actually have the flu, so I'm going to try to keep this together for you guys and do this well. But, all right, so we talked about who the video is for, who it's not for. Okay, so here's what a lot of people don't want to admit. Selling didn't get harder because people hate buying, right? Selling is getting harder because everyone sounds the same. Right now, everyone claims AI will 10 times your business, right? Everyone promises automation. Everyone says this is custom. So buyers tune out, not because they don't want help, but because they don't trust the messenger, which means the real problem isn't traffic, it's positioning. And that's where this power combo comes in. Now, before I go any further, I do have a cheat sheet that I'm going to give out for today's call. This is it right here, the AI Power Combo cheat sheet. If you guys want this cheat sheet, all you have to do is like, subscribe, turn on notifications, drop a comment below the video, and I will send you over a link to sign up for my free Smart AI Launch Lab training. On the thank you page, there is a link to this cheat sheet and a bunch of others. Now, if you're watching this and you're in my community, you're here in the school group, if you go in the school group, there's actually a post pinned to the top, the live coaching call post. If you click on that post, there's a link directly to the document that has all the cheat sheets for these calls right inside there. So if you just want to go there in the school group, you can do that. If you're not in the school group, you should join. It's smartdirectory.ai/group. We've got you can see almost 2,000 members in there now. People asking questions, sharing what they're doing, talking about all this AI stuff. It's a really, really great group. So if you're not in there, go check it out. If you want the cheat sheet, you can either grab it in the school group or just leave a comment below, and I'll send you over a link to get it as well. All right. So in one of my videos a couple of weeks ago, I casually mentioned something that I call the power combo. And a few people reached out to me in direct messages and were like, hey, Tom, could you break that down a little further? So that's what I'm going to do on today's coaching call. And then, of course, I'm going to take your questions, and we'll do a bunch of other stuff as well. So the power combo is simply this. It's prospecting plus value plus automation in the right order. So it's about not pitching first, not demoing first, not calls first, but context first. So let me show you how this actually works in the real world. So I'm going to go over to my screen here, and I'm going to show you something. So I'm inside of one of my high-level sub-accounts, and I am going to use a tool that High Level has called the prospecting tool. Now, when I talk about context, maybe you've heard me say this before too in some of my trainings, like we always like to start with the end. And what I mean by that is whenever we're looking for people to prospect, maybe we're going to bring them on as paying clients, we're always looking for people that have a problem that we can solve. So we always start with the end. So like if I'm going to sell an AI agent, let's say AI agents are my thing, right? Then the lists that I build should be people that don't have AI chatbots on their websites, right? So we always want to start with the end. So you always think about, well, what is it that I help them solve? What's the thing that I'm going to sell? And then now we want to find people that have that problem already, and then we reach out to them. So we're not really just building, random lists of businesses. We really want to build a list of businesses with a problem that we know we can solve. Now, you can use the prospecting tool inside High Level. We also use another tool called D7 quite a bit. D7 is nice. It's an online lead scraper, but it pulls a bunch of information about the business as well. But I'll show you this in the High Level ecosystem because I think this tool doesn't get a lot of, it doesn't get the light shined on it very much, but I think it's actually a really great prospecting tool. Now, they have two versions of the prospecting tool. There's a free version, and then there's a premium version. So I'm going to be using the premium version, but the free version, I think, gives you like 40, I think you can pull 40 reports a day or something like that. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to go over here to marketing. Now, I have my prospecting tool connected to one of my sub-accounts. So when you upgrade to premium, that's one of the benefits to upgrading to the premium prospecting tool is that you can have it available inside one sub-account, and there's no extra charge for that. And then that allows you to pull leads and add them into workflows and different things like that. So once you have the prospecting tool set up in a sub-account, you find it under marketing, and you go up here, you'll see prospecting. And when I click on this, because I have this connected to this sub-account, it pulls up the high-level prospecting tool right inside of my sub-account here so that I can build lists. So I'll show you the agency side of this too here in just a minute. But so basically the way this works is whenever you want to build a list, you just click this add prospect button, and you can just type in a business type. So like electrician, and then an area. So I'm going to do Las Vegas. You see it pulls it up here. You can set your distance, and then you just click search. And it will go out and scrape Google, and it will pull in lists of electricians in this area. Now, you can see there's quite a bit here. This is 5 per page. I'm going to go to 15 per page. So it's pulled in a pretty good number of electricians here, and it gives us some information that we can kind of use to scan and see, like, is this a person that we want to try to bring on as a client or not? Like, it tells us their reviews, it tells us whether their Google business profile is claimed, whether their site is WordPress, if they have a website, if they don't have a website. There's just some kind of preliminary things here that you can do, and it gives you what High Level calls a prospect score. So this is the chance, like based on the things in their report, this is a percentage that High Level thinks gives you the ability to turn them into a client. So the higher the percentage, the better, right? So this Neat North Las Vegas, 62%, there's a good chance we could turn them into a client because they have some issues, right? So if they have their stuff in order, then the chances are low. And you can actually arrange all of this stuff the way you want by clicking these manage columns. You can show various things, not show them, rearrange them in the order you want. And another nice thing about going the premium prospecting tool route is that you're able to export these in bulk into your High Level sub account. So like, I think I can select up to 15 and just click add, and it will add them as contacts into my High Level account. And then I can give them a listing on my directory, which is the next part of my power combo. I like to identify people that have an issue I can fix. And then that's how I'm going to reach out to them and start those conversations, is by giving them a free listing on a directory site, right? So this tool, very, very handy. Now, the free version, you can't bulk, and there's some different things that are different inside of the report. So let me kind of show you the reports. We'll use this Calidus Electric. But if I pull up the marketing audit report, once you say that like this is a contact I want to pursue, then it gives you this really awesome report here. Pardon me, guys. And you can see it gives an overall score. It also walks you through all of their stuff. Now, if I were going to sell, say, like AI chat widgets, you'll see one of the things I want to look at here is there a chat widget on their website? No, they don't have one. They're not replying to reviews. So these are things that we can fulfill using the various tools on high level, right? And this report makes a really great report to just show potential prospects. So if you look on our thing, when we say like in our premium upgrade packages for our directory, we have an online visibility report. This is what I'm talking about. This is what we use as the online visibility report. We just run this report and give it to them. Now you can export this as a PDF. There's a link so you can share it. When you upgrade to the premium version, you can also have this on your website. Like you can have a place where people can go to your website, type in their website, and it will generate this report for them. So it'll generate those marketing audit reports right there as well, right? Rick, the link to the school group is smartdirectory.ai/group. Let me see if I can expand this a little. For some reason, my little thing is super small. Let me make this bigger. Here we go. Here, I'm going to put this in here. So let me just put this link in here for you guys. /group. Did I spell it right? Yes, I did. Okay, there we go. Smartdirectory.ai/group. That'll take you to the school group. I'm pretty sure you're already in there, Rick, but just want to make sure. So, traditionally, when you're doing a list like this, right, you pull a list, you find emails, you send offers, you hope that someone replies. But that's actually kind of backwards. So, when we're starting with relevance and context, like I'm showing you here, right, when we use the local prospecting tool, I can pull these businesses, I can see a specific problem that they have, and then I can only be adding those businesses to my directory site to start the outreach process, right? So it's not really like bulk scraping, we're not guessing, it's contextual prospecting. And one of the key shifts here is you really have to stop trying to do things in massive bulk, right? Like our goal isn't like when we do this, we're much better off having a list of 50 to 100 businesses that have an actual problem we can fix than a list of 1,000 businesses that we have no idea if we can help them or not, right? So, and again, we're not asking for attention here. We're just going to show up with it, all right? So where most people kind of mess this up is they pull the leads and then they just immediately start pitching them. They immediately start just going into, hey, like I can help you, whatever it is, right? We don't do that. So instead, we want to give every prospect something of value first. So the way we do that is with a free listing on our directory site. So I'm going to go over here to my Smart Directory dashboard here. I should have pulled this up in a minute. So this is really how we lead. So once we've pulled the list, so once we have a list of businesses that don't have a chat widget on their website, then we're going to go add those businesses to our directory. And we're going to trigger an automation that reaches out to them that basically says, hey, you know, we've given you a free listing on this local community website. We're not pitching. We're not trying to, go for the juggler right off the bat. We just want to give them something of value, a free listing, and then we can get the process started, right? So once we give them a listing on the site, that triggers a set of automations, all right? And those automations are our free listing outreach automations. And what happens with this set of automations is when we drop leads in here, the first thing is they get an email saying that they've been given a free listing on our local community resource website. We just need to verify that their business information is correct. And we give them their business name, email, website, all the things that we want to make sure we have are correct. Then, if they reply back and say, yes, that's correct, or maybe they reply back and say, no, that's not correct. Here's the correct information. Then we can immediately respond to them and say, hey, thanks for letting me know. I appreciate that. By the way, while I was adding your listing to our site, I noticed that you don't have a chat widget on your website. Is there a reason for that? Right? So now we're kind of, again, we're not like trying to go for the jugular right off the bat. We're just trying to find out, well, why don't you have this thing that's important in 2026, right? So lead with value. That's very important. So this directory, it's not a lead magnet. This is a placement, right? We're not reaching out and saying, hey, do you want to be on my directory site? We reach out and we say, look, we already did this. We already gave you a free listing. It's live. We just want to make sure the information is correct. Can you let us know if this is correct? That single shift kind of changes everything, because now you're helpful, you're credible, you're not selling, you're actually starting a conversation. And that is the hardest part out of all of this, is just getting someone to actually listen to what you have to offer them, right? Because they get bombarded by so many things right and left. Now, once that value exists, the automations take over, emails go out automatically. We've got a whole thing here that happens, if I can get back over to this screen. Once they go through this free listing outreach workflow, then we give them a premium upgrade push, which is basically selling them on our premium upgrade packages. Then we run them through a SaaS push, which is like AI marketing services, and then a traditional marketing services push, which is like SEO, some other services, local marketing services that we offer as well. Now, all of this is customizable to whatever services you want to do. We include these in here for kind of completeness, but like you should be customizing these sequences with your services and the specific things that you do, right? So once the emails go out, it's like, you've been added. Is this information correct? Would you like to upgrade? There's no pressure. There's no urgency tricks, right? And here's the really crazy part. People respond because it makes sense, right? They don't feel sold. They feel included. And that is the big difference. And I try to explain this to people all the time, but until you experience it, it's really hard to get across the difference in these conversations. Before I had this approach, just every conversation felt scary and forced, and like everything had to go right. But once I started using this approach of leading with value and the directory and just trying to be somebody in the community helping, like all the conversations became a lot less pressure, right? They just became real conversations. So this is really grounded in reality and will change the way that you prospect. So when you run this system, of course, not everyone responds, not everyone upgrades, and that's fine, right? You don't need everyone. You only need a percentage to confirm, a smaller percentage to upgrade, a handful to book calls. And those calls, they are like the easiest calls you ever do. Now, we also have a system in place regardless of what people do. So whether they respond, whether they claim their listing, whether they upgrade, depending on what they do, we will do things like little courtesy calls or courtesy outreach. And that's one of the ways that we follow up and close more deals when maybe they don't take the initial actions we want. So let's say we run a group of businesses through the free listing outreach, and they don't do anything, right? We don't know if it worked or if it didn't work. So I would just follow up with maybe like a courtesy email or a courtesy call saying, hey, I'm Tom. I'm the guy who put all this together. I'm just giving you a courtesy call because we added your business. We haven't been able to verify whether the information is correct. Do you have a quick second to do that, right? Let me see. There's a question here. Do I have a directory template? So I don't have a directory template. What I did is I built a high-level app that allows you to build a directory like this right inside your high-level account. So it's called smartdirectory.ai. And so it's an app. You install it in your high-level sub-account, and it allows you to quickly build a directory like this. And then there's some other ones too. I'll show you some examples. Here was a good one. Let's see if I can remember. Oh, I can't remember the name. Hold on. I'll have to come back to that and show you a couple more. But anyway, so that is how I'm doing the directories right inside of High Level. High Level doesn't have the functionality to do that, right? And then somebody said, does anybody ask about, do they ever ask Quiet Directory if they're already listed on Google? No, nobody ever asked that. I've never had anybody ask that. I mean, they see that this directory obviously isn't Google and it's separate, right? In fact, a lot of people like to be on local directories. I don't know if you do SEO, but getting a backlink on a local directory like this is actually pretty good local SEO juice. And they're very hard to come by. There's not many of them, right? So you can use those. Pardon me for 1 second. Got to take a drink here. Hopefully my throat and my coughing will stay subsided while we do this part. Okay, so let's see. So I talked about how we build a list. We add them. We give them a free listing, right? And then whatever they do, we do the little courtesy calls. And here's another thing. Like, these calls, when I get on with people, they're not high pressure sales calls. These are actually probably the easiest calls you'll ever do in your life. It's basically just this. Hey, I'm Tom. I set up this local directory in the area. I added your business. I just need to verify that the information we have live online is correct. Do you have a few minutes? Yes. Okay. Is this your correct business name, address, phone number? Yes. Okay. Awesome. By the way, before I go, when I was setting up your listing, I noticed that you don't have a chat widget on your website. Did you know in 2026, like, a lot of people prefer to communicate with businesses directly via a chat widget and get instant answers? Why don't you have one of those? I could help you set one of those up. It's that type of a thing, right? So very, very easy and straightforward calls. Basically, just thanks for confirming your info. It's not really let me tell you about my services. We're really, again, leading with them. And the reason this works is because it aligns with how humans make decisions, right? People don't want to be sold. They want to feel smart saying yes. So this system removes pressure. It builds familiarity. It creates micro commitments. By the time money comes up, trust already exists. Value already exists. The sale feels natural. And that's leverage. Because think of it from their point of view, right? They get an email that says, hey, we've been added to this local directory site. Okay, they go, they look, looks good, they like it, their listing looks okay, all the information's correct. And now this helpful person is just there to help them with some other things that they noticed when they were setting up the listing, right? Leverage. So here's an important point. AI is not the magic, right? AI is the multiplier. So AI handles follow-up, handles conversations, handles scale. But strategy comes first. If you automate bad positioning, you just fall faster. So the power combo works because prospecting is intentional, the value is real, and the automation is contextual. AI just makes it run 24/7. So basically what happens here in the background is I can build a list of businesses, and on a Monday, I can drop them into these workflows, and I can let the system just do its magic in the background while I'm going about my life. And then when I wake up in the morning, I come in, I log into my sub account, and I just go to the conversations tab. And look, I can go and see all of these conversations that are coming in from the businesses, right? And then I can just look and see who's responding, who's not responding, start those outreach, doing those things, and I just handle it all right here. So again, I'm using the system to get people to raise their hand and say, hey, I'm interested, start the conversations, and make all of this work in like a natural flowing way, right? So this is perfect if you hate cold outreach, if you sell AI, SaaS, or marketing, and you want inbound style conversations. I have found nothing that even comes close to this system, but it's especially powerful for local niches, service businesses, consultants, and agencies, and it works even if you're just starting. In fact, the more kind of like authentic and not professional you sound when you're doing this in the beginning, usually the better results you get because you just sound more real and authentic, all right? So again, if you want more info on this, I have the AI Power Combo cheat sheet. If you just like, subscribe, turn on notifications, drop a comment below the video. I will send you over a link to my Smart AI Launch Lab training, When you sign up for that, it's free. I show you how to get your AI business launched in 72 hours. But on the thank you page right down here, you'll see get all my free AI cheat sheets. This is where you get the cheat sheets. Or if you're in my school community, all you have to do is go to this post right here and you'll find the link right in here as well. All right. So I want to go ahead. That's it for the training. I want to open up and do some Q&A, take some questions and different things like that while we're here. So let me go over to the questions. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I almost had to cancel today. I'm feeling pretty crummy, but I'm powering through it for you. All right, so let me get on here and see what I got for questions. When importing a list from the Prospect Finder, can we add tags? One for business to show up in SDA and another to put them in the sequences. Yes, so this is a great question. So this is what's really interesting about this. When you go over and bring in a contacts from the tool, they're going to show up as this new prospect received. See that? So you can easily separate them out. And then you can just select them. Like if I just want to make this a listing on my directory, then I can just select whatever ones I want. And I just click the add tag. And I just add the tag right there. So super easy. And then I can drop them in the automations that way as well. I think that's what you're asking, right? That's what's nice about having the prospecting tool in a sub-account. How do I know what that business needs? Okay, let me see. Is there any way to make the consumer side more prominent? If you can build up the number of consumers. So, so this is interesting, and I'm glad you kind of brought this up because this is a good opportunity for me to kind of reiterate like what we're doing here and what our goal is here, okay? Our goal with this system is to get traction as quickly as possible. Now, look, yes, should you be building up your consumer side and doing more marketing of your directory and all that stuff? Absolutely. But that is not what is going to generate the quickest income in the shortest amount of time. So when you hear me talk about the adding the businesses and doing the outreach this way, it's all designed to get you results as quickly as possible. All of those other things that you're talking about, building up the consumer side, getting traffic to the directory, all of those things take time. And if you have time, if you don't need money right now, like if you're just like, yeah, I can just wait and I'll just invest all this time in this and I don't really care if I make any money right off the bat, then do that. But the systems and things that I'm showing you here are mainly designed to get you traction in the short term. So you can start generating revenue and income while you're building all that other stuff out. So don't lose sight of that, right? Just because I'm talking about these things here doesn't mean we don't do that stuff. We do that stuff. We just do it in the right order. Let's get some traction, get some cash flow going. That makes it much easier to build out all those things that you're talking about there. Somebody said, can you show us how to add the prospecting tool to your sub account? Yeah, so let me show you that real quick. So when you're in your agency view, here we go. When you're in your agency view, there's a thing over here called prospecting. So this is where the prospecting tool lives in the agency view. You see it looks just the same as in the sub account, right? So if you want to connect your premium prospecting, you just go to settings and you'll see there's one here that says migrate. Oh, nope, that's different. Sorry, that's a new thing. Manage subscription. So you can see settings, manage subscription, and then it allows you to connect one sub account at no additional charge. This is a new thing where you can migrate the prospects from your agency to your sub accounts. So like if you pulled a prospecting list here in the agency view, you can then migrate whichever ones you want right into your sub account. So you can do it that way as well. That answer your question? Oh, you got to see my screen. Sorry, guys. This might be the medicine. Okay, here we go. All right, so I'm back at the agency dashboard. Okay, agency dashboard. Over here on the left, the third one down is prospecting. When you go here, that pulls up the prospecting tool. Everybody see that? So in the top menu, there's settings. And if you go to this manage subscription, this is where you connect it to one of your sub accounts. So you can connect it to one sub account at no additional charge. And then they've got this new feature now called Migrate, where if you pull prospects here, like you can select these, you can migrate them into any sub account that you want from here, and you use this migrate function here. Does that help? Yeah, too much Dayquil. I swear I'm like so sick of taking medicine. I went to the doctor yesterday and they gave me even more medicine, but they were like, yep, you have the flu. It's been going around really bad here, and it's pretty awful. Okay. All right. So does anybody have any specific questions and stuff? Pop them in. I will answer those. So I want to do a couple things while you guys are putting those in. So I'm back here in the school group. I'm going to go over to the celebrations tab. I just want to call out some people for some great wins this week. So a big shout out to Chris. Launched first Smart Directory AI site today. Awesome stuff. A big shout out to John Hardiman. He got a win for 2 new Facebook ad campaigns, $550 each. So awesome stuff, John. Jacqueline Heath got another sneaky win, $1,500. This is a client she's been running Google Ads for. She's brought in a bunch of revenue for them. So she's getting some other services going. So awesome stuff, Jacqueline. Jacqueline had another win here, $275, feeling happy. This was Dorn doing the challenge. Awesome stuff. So I love going in and seeing these wins that people post in here. So this is really great stuff. So big shout out and job well done to everybody sharing their wins and stuff in here. All right, let me take a look at the comments and see what we've got here. Is there a way to add image banners on this website too? We have the hero image here, but no way to add images down here yet. So if only one prospecting tool and go high level, do you suggest prospecting from the directory sub account or your agency? Well, Jason, now that high level lets you migrate them, you can pull your list in the agency view and then just migrate those prospects into the sub account where your directory is. So you should always be prospecting from your directory. That's the whole point, right? This was the big aha moment for me. So I was trying to get my agency off the ground in Maui. I'm calling people up. I'm going to networking events. Every time I say I own a marketing agency, it's like I could just feel the resistance go up, right? They think I'm trying to sell them something. It was just a real struggle. When I started approaching people saying like, hey, I set up this directory site and you have a free listing. I just want to verify your information. Like all of that went away. They didn't even think that, it took all of those shields and that kind of uncomfortableness out of the equation. So I always prospect from the directory. I never prospect from my agency because it's just much easier. Much easier. Okay. Dorn says, I sold a PPC client and 2 paid audits thus far from the challenge. That's awesome, Dorn. I mean, that was only like 50 businesses, right? And see, this again, this is just another great example. I mean, look at this. Here's Dorn's thing right here. Watch this. He just reached out to 50 businesses. 50 businesses. 50 businesses, he booked 9 appointments. 20 replies, 9 appointments. Took him 7 hours. And he's already sold, what did you say, Dorn? A PPC on it and something else? Right? Like, you do not need big numbers to just be crushing this, right? I love this winning thing right here. That's so great. Awesome stuff. All right, guys. Does anybody have any more questions or anything that Dorn said, 50, 20, 10 appointments, 4 sales so far. That's awesome. Bob says, where do you get leads with emails? Great question, Bob. So D7, the tool I mentioned to you earlier, that is a tool that we use that tends to be pretty good about getting the emails. But Bob, I would almost argue that emails are becoming like, they're the hardest thing to get because they're really not that important to a business, right? Like business owners go out of their way to hide their email address. That's why you can't find them, right? They don't want people to have them, but they always make sure their phone number is updated. They always make sure all of that information is correct, right? So I would say, if you can just get a phone number, the information about the business, and you can reach out to them that way, do that instead of trying to get their email. Email is the least effective way to reach out to people because their inboxes are crowded. It's easy for them to just delete and ignore you. Like we have a pretty good system with Smart Directory because of the directory listings and the verifying the info that works really well. But it's hard if you're not doing that. Let me see here. What is a sale? What do you mean? Oh, selling a service to a client. Yeah, that's what that means. Awesome. Well, look, guys, I'm feeling pretty crummy. I'm trying to hold it together as best I can for you. I think I'm going to kind of wrap this call up a little early so I can get some rest. But I really do appreciate all of you being here today. I do this live coaching call every Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. Please come back, join me next Friday. I'll be here in better health. I can answer more of your questions and all of that stuff. But my big takeaway from today's call for you, I hope, is remember, selling isn't broken. Selling too early is. When you lead with value and context, clients come to you. That's the power combo. So I will see you guys in the school group. I'm going to post some other videos here on this channel throughout the week, so make sure you stay tuned in here as well. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Until then, stay safe, everybody. I hope none of you get the flu, and I will see you all on the next coaching call.